students, our next topic is history of Constitution of India. Earlier we had studied two topics, Constitution and the need of the Constitution. So Constitution was what? Constitution was just like a rule book to us. Now we will study about its history. Like कैसे आया Constitution? What was its history? So India was earlier also a home of ancient Indian Indus Valley civilization, which goes back to 1300 BC. India is world famous for its ancient history and culture. India is always very prominent. India is such kind of place where you can see every kind of blend. You can see history, you can see culture, you can see lot of religion, you can see so many of the things which have different kind of nature, people, yet we unite and we live each other with full of harmony, with full of cooperation. We respect our elders, we treat our siblings very lovingly, we greet our elders. We have certain etiquettes and mannerism which no one in this whole world comprises. That is the reason we say India is a place of rich heritage and culture. Yeah. If we say about the constitutional history, India goes back to only 3rd century BC, that is 269 BC to 231 BC, in the times of the great emperor Ashoka. Students, here you find a chart which will tell you in a very easy and specific language, which will make it very comprises to understand about our Indian constitutional history. Here if you see, in 1324 BC to 185 BC, Emperor Ashoka Maurya established constitutional principles, engraved them in major rocks, pillars, and on minor rocks for public to take reference, which is also known as Edicts of Ashoka. We will also study about this Edicts of Ashoka in our next topic. It will give you a brief explanation about this as well. So, in 1599 AD to 1765 AD, East India Company takes total administrative control by gaining right of taxation in Bengal after the Battle of Plassey, which was happened in 1757. You might have studied this Battle of Plassey in your last class also in history. So here what happened? East India Company made, in fact, it came into total administrative control. They won the right of taxation after they defeated the Nawab of Bengal in the Battle of Plassey. So in 1765 AD to 1858 AD, East India Company take total unified control over the whole of India from single center in Calcutta. But its rules ended with the revolt of 1857. Now what happened in 1757? East India Company, they took the total administrative control, but then later on in 1857 they took whole unified control all over the India, and they were having a center in Calcutta to take care of that after that revolt of 1857. Earlier, when they took a right of taxation, that revolt was Battle of Plassey. Then, when they took a unified control all over India, that was the revolt of 1857. If we talk about this 1858 AD to 1947 AD, this period of the British Raj was the time when the Constitution of India took place. Now, after this revolt of 1857, even Britishers, what they did, they created the constitution. They tried to give it a shape so that whatever they were following in Britain, they will be following in India also. Since they were taking a control of all over India. The East India Company was controlled by Britishers only. So in 1950, what happened? Finally, the Constitution of India, created in independent India by its own free people, was adopted on 26 November 1949 and came into effect on 26 January 1950. And after that 1950 only, our India got the India was termed as the Republic of India. Now, since I have told you we will study about the edicts of Ashoka in detail. So, the edict of Ashoka 324 BC to 185 BC established constitutional principle for the 3rd century BC Maurya kings rule in ancient India. The edicts of Ashoka are a collection of 33 inscriptions on the pillars of Ashoka. They had a 33 inscriptions, different kind of designs on the pillar of Ashoka, as well as the boulders. Boulders are kind of big rocks, बड़े बड़े पत्थर, and cave walls. गुफाओं की दीवारों पे लिखे हुए थे, made by the Emperor Ashoka of the Mauryan dynasty, of the Mauryan dynasty. I am also just in my next slide. You can see these images also. Now, the East India Company in 1599 AD to 1765 AD, in 1600, the East India Company came into India as a trading company from Britain. Earlier, what they did, how it came to India? It came to India by saying like they are a trading company from Britain. In 1765, it became an administrative power after gaining the right of taxation in Bengal, after defeating the Nawab of Bengal at the Battle of Plassey 1757. That is what I was telling you earlier. What they did, they came to India by saying like they are only a trading company from Britain. They will trade certain products. But later on, what they did, they gained the power, they gained the right of taxation after they defeated the Nawab of Bengal in the Battle of Plassey. You will find a view of the Queen Elizabeth and the East India House also in the next slide. The East India Company in 1765 AD to 1858 AD. Now what happened? Earlier what they did? They defeated the Nawab of Bengal and they gained the right of taxation. Now what they did? During this period the company established a unified control over whole of the India from a single center in Calcutta. They made a single center in Calcutta. Earlier, what they did, they defeated and they only got a right of taxation. Now, they took control all over India and they made a single center in Calcutta to take care of all the activities happening all over India. Different acts and laws were forced by the company during this period just so company could remain in power and authority. They made different kind of rules and regulation to trouble the people so that they can prove their authority, they can enslave the people. But the company came under increasing control by Parliament of Britain and its rule ended with the revolt of 1857. So this revolt ended in 1857. Now, British Raj. British Raj came in 1858 to 1947. This period of the British Raj was the time when the Constitution of India took shape. The main stages of this revolution were the Act for the Better Government of India. In this, what they did? This put India directly under the control of the British government. It set up the office of the Secretary of State, member of the British Parliament, who would be in charge of Indian government of India. The government, Governor General Secretary working under the Secretary of State, led the administration. Indian Council Act 18661 separated legislative council was set up to assist the Governor General in making laws. Indian could be appointed to the council but only on the discretion of the Governor General. Now, in Indian Council Act 1892, as a result of Indian demands, the sizes of the executive and legislative councils were increased. More Indians were appointed to these councils and principle of election was introduced. Indian Council Act 1909. This act increases the size of the councils again and also gave the legislative council the power to discuss certain matters and to ask questions. More people were elected to the council. At the end, what happened? Government of India Act 1919 introduced diarchy. What is the diarchy here? Diarchy is the partial responsible government, means half government at the provincial level. Elected Indians were given charge of some areas of government. Example, say for example, like industry, education, and at the provincial level also. Indian, we talk about the Government of India Act 1935. It introduced provincial autonomy. What is provincial autonomy? It is responsible government at the provinces which elects Indian in charge of the administration and even responsible to the elected legislatures. The federal government was proposed. Federal means free government was proposed, though it did not came into effect. At the center, diarchy was introduced. They were more prone towards the diarchy instead of having a provincial autonomy. Now, the time comes, Indian Independence Act for 1947. The British gave up control of the government of India to two dominoes, India and Pakistan. For the time being till the constitution was made, both of them would be governed in accordance with the Government of India Act 1935. Here it happened when what happened when the refugees at the railway station, they moved to the Punjab, they moved to the different areas to protect themselves, and the partition took place. Now the Constitution of India 1950 AD, the Constitution was enacted by the Constituent Assembly on 26 November 1949 and came into effect on 26 January 1950. Now we are having a very important topic, that is Poon Swaraj Declaration of Independence of 1930. How this Poon Swaraj happened? This is very important topic, students. In this, with its adoption, the Union of India officially became the modern Republic of India and it replaced the Government of India Act 1935 as the country's fundamental governing document.